Good. Well, folks, I've got a great treat for you today. I've got Brendon August, a personal friend of mine who's come into real estate recently, who's just absolutely lighting up the sky. So welcome, Brendon.
Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, no, and listeners, yeah, all REIWA members. So good to be here.
So tell me about your business. Who are you with?
So I'm with obviously Encore Property, as you see in the background. Just a fabulous agency, little boutique place in Cronulla Town Centre. Licensee is a close personal friend that I went to high school with, Paula Oraldi, and we've got about eight or nine staff members at the moment, and it's just a really unique place to work.
Great.
Somewhere you love to get up and go to work with.
Beautiful, mate. Now, I want to take our story right back to when we first met, because we've known each other for quite some time, haven't we?
Yeah, 20 plus.
So 20 years when I first arrived in Perth, we kind of got to meet. So how do we meet? Where do we?
Well, I remember you were at DMD Shelving. I think you popped down. There was some 40-foot or 20-foot containers of racking arriving from good old South Africa, and Mark and Danny from DMD, and you'd aligned yourself with them, I believe, with some sort of business transaction in the hope of getting your citizenship at some point.
That's exactly right.
And I remember us talking and catching up way back then. You were talking about you had a couple of kids, and
yeah,
they actually were still back in South Africa. But yeah, no. And then I think from there, I think you did like actually a coaching mentoring program down the road at the I can't remember what they're called now, that gym centre there.
Yes, at the Next Generation.
Next Generation, that's the one.
Yeah.
Sort of we caught up from there, and we just sort of, we saw each other from time to time through regular business interests. And then somehow, I think 2004,
yes,
I had a house in South Lakes, and obviously I knew you, and I rang you up, and you listed it, and then I was the worst possible seller you probably had, because I remember you were saying, take this deal, and I said, no, I want more money, blah blah blah, like we all do, obviously. But no, it was good, and you sold that for a great, and that was, I think, one of the two booms prior. So yeah, and then I bought in Coolingham. So yeah, no, that's pretty much.
That's right. That's how we got to know each other.
And then from a bit after that, sort of, you obviously were well and truly into real estate, and I think I'd seen you over in Cardinia, because obviously with the CBC Footy Club, and you were next to Harcourt, which is Lee Moore. I knew Lee Moore, and you had with Darren, because I remember Darren.
Yes.
You took over REIWA, because my previous employment was a lot of work we did with REIWA Commercial. So yeah, no, yes. I think it had Acton as well and things like that. So
LJ Hooker for 8 years, 4 years with Acton, and then Darren took over. He changed to Realmark when he bought me out. So that was how it worked. So we lost touch for a while, but we reconnected obviously through Facebook, which is a great place to reconnect. And you went through some tough times, mate. So tell us that patch between obviously the tough times that you had, and then reconnecting, and then us kind of reconnecting personally again.
Well, that's probably known to a few members, not everyone. 2015, I was in just at work one day, and I became quite unwell, and I ended up in hospital that evening, Rockingham. 48 hours later, I was in ICU ward, transferred to Fiona Stanley. I was diagnosed with acute pancreatitis, which, for people who don't realise, it is basically alcohol related after you've been diagnosed, but mine was more of a dietary issue, so I was really burning myself at both ends, if that's probably the right way to call it. My specialist said to me if I didn't have that, I was probably going to have a heart attack, because when they did my bloods, they were so thick. It was really a big wake-up call. I went through ICU for the next 12, 13 days or something. Day 6 or 7, Kate was told I pretty much was, possibly going to lose my life, and potentially that way. And I had huge support from my life member at, who I've got a lot of time for. They supported my wife and myself. She was pregnant with Addison, only 10 weeks at the time. I survived it miraculously, as we've talked about before. You knew that. Mentally, it really hit me. Post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, anxiety. It probably took me a good 18 months, maybe longer, 2 years. Physically, it took me back to my teenage years. I lost 37 kilos. When 117, I came out at 79. Not ashamed to say that. So yeah, no, I really put myself and my family for the ringer and sort of come out the other end. My previous employer was really good at the time, I must admit. Looked after me from a financial point of view. I also looked after myself by making sure that I was covered insurance-wise and financially and all that sort of stuff. I think it's important for anyone out there to know it's an important thing to be able to cover yourself. So there was the potential we could have lost a house we were building at the time. We had we had the CFC Footy Club then did a entertainment night for myself to raise money, and basically they said that it was for my funeral. They raised $20,000 or thereabouts, and gave that to us, which I'm forever in debt to. And Kate and I obviously built the house. We bought all new furniture for the house. We spent it on the house, and I really went into a huge recovery, and it was very taxing on Kate. I just can't, we all talk about our partners, but what she endured was just monumental. Trying to, at Dylan, he was only, 2015, he was only 7, to keep him actively at school and keep him going, and then obviously pregnant with Addison, and then having Addison and things, because it was obviously post, when I came out of hospital, there was always going to be prolonging stuff. I had to go back and have 3 or 4 other minor surgeries to release antibiotics and stuff like that. I had constant medical appointments from Fiona Stanley and the like, so Murdoch and the rest of it. So that certainly took its toll. I came back to work part-time, I think it was probably 2018. So almost 3 years after that all happened. Went back to my old job, basically because I wanted to say, no, I still can do what I was doing before. Mm-hmm. And I was proud of what I was doing. I did that and worked my way back into full-time employment there, which is really good. However, then COVID hit, obviously everybody, and my ex workplace basically was going in a different direction to me, and I thought, I was really struggling. I actually was really struggling mentally, and I had to take a break again. And I thought, oh, here we go. It was really tough, and I took a break at the time. It was all going well. I was just taking some mental health leave, etc., etc. And I think it was probably probably November-ish. You put something on Facebook about a horse or something, and then I saw Ryan Thompson. Surely not. And I think I messaged you privately in Messenger, and you responded, and I thought, I didn't realise that we were both passionate about horse racing. Mm-hmm. You'd had a few horses, and I had a few horses, and then you said, "Oh, let's catch up with the races," someday. And it wasn't not too long, probably a couple of weeks later. I caught up on a Saturday with your brother, and yeah, you sort of sat down and we'll have a bit of lunch and talk with the horses. And you looked across the table, and I've told you as many times, I know exactly where we were sitting at Ascot in the members. And
in the restaurant, the
restaurant, and you said to me, "Have you ever thought about a career in real estate?" I said, "What? Nah, not me." And then you obviously went into your, why don't you come and do a couple of seminars and see if it interests you, because, we sort of went right into depth a bit about my mental struggles and stuff, and I didn't know where I was at with my life, and things weren't too rosy, as you're well aware. And went home and talked to Kate, and I told her about, she knew who you were anyway. And I think a couple of weeks later, I went to one of your half-day seminars. I can't remember exactly one. Sorry, I apologise for that. But
okay.
and you said, what do you think? I said, yeah, I liked it. I really did. I really liked it, And so we got talking, and I think you sort of said, look, Brendon, we're coming up to our 3-day submersion. I've got other people that want to join. Where you're at, you're sort of half in or half not. And I remember saying to you, no, I'll let you know, because I'll be either all in or not in. And you know me. So I think I spoke a couple of days later, and I spoke to Kate, and we just took the plunge. Pulled the money out of where we had to pull the money out of. Thought, bugger it, I'm at a point in my life where I want to change. Ryan actually is a very positive person, believes in me, and I thought, I know I'm a good people's person. I firmly believe that. I don't, I haven't got tickets on myself or anything. What you see is what you get with me. And it was a great thing for me to sign up. And then I remember the first, and before we actually started the 3-day submersion, we had a monthly catch-up supercharge. And we started this thing, and you put me on the spot with Teeny, and Teeny just made me look stupid. But that was funny, it was good. But but look, I've learned so much from there, and all the REB members. And now, as you basically say, get around people, be around people that you want to influence your life. And I'm around certain members, I'm really close to a few of them, and they know who they are, and I really appreciate them. But everyone's support is just phenomenal for an industry that is so cutthroat, and apparently we're all not very nice people. Your REB and your members that you bring in, and we talk about this, and I talk about culture in life and sport, and what you do for and Anita. The culture and environment you create is just great, and everyone's just so supportive.
Thanks, mate. And you're so humble. I want to just mention to the viewers what you've achieved since then. So you've been in it 12 months.
June 27, 12 months. Yes.
June 27, 12 months. So you've been top REIWA rookie in four months. So in April, you were number 1. March, you were number 7. February, you're number 1. January, you're number 3. Listen to these months that you've done. In January, you did 29 appraisals, 8 listings, 6 sales for 57,000. In February, you bettered that. You did 21 appraisals, 7 listings, 8 sales for 66,000 gross com. And just April passed, you beat that again and got another personal best, 33 appraisals, 11 listings, and 10 sales for 93,000 in gross commission. I think it took me 5 years to get anywhere close to that, mate. You've done it in your first year. It's just unbelievable what you've achieved. But, let's take it back to that 3-day submersion, because you just embraced it. You loved it. You connected with everybody. You've thrown yourself in boots and all, but you truly love it. You're not in it to, blow the sky open. You're at a point in your life. Your pregnant wife got called into the hospital with your son to basically say their goodbyes 5 days into ICU. Brendon August wasn't going anywhere. He decided, stuff this, I'm sticking around. And then you were in ICU for another week and managed to pull through. Then with all the love and support that you got thereafter for I'm talking months, you had survivor's guilt, which you taught me what that was. I'd never heard of that before, which is apparently, and you can explain it, where you feel guilty that you survived when you actually weren't supposed to. And you've had to deal with that. And then you found real estate and jumped in, and it's just completely changed. But, so just tell us a little bit about that 12 months and how you've been able to achieve it. So put aside the training, the 3-day submersion and the memberships and the coaching that you've done, but tell us about what you've done to do this type of volume and this type of numbers.
Well, first and foremost, there is a lot of agents, as you're well aware, and a lot of other people, that when they obviously get their license and position, they get into real estate, a lot of them are thrown into the corner. Off you go, there's your office. you know, yada, yada. Because I reached out to Paula and it was sort of a timing thing, like everything's timing generally in these day and age.
Yeah.
Colin, one of our colleagues here, he had a heart attack probably about 6 months before that. And because obviously the knowledge of the sales was looking at going in a pretty positive direction, I just reached out to her after we'd spoke about a couple other agencies, and I said, I've just got my sales line. I said, anything you can do, any advice you can give me. So I actually came here and sat in this room with her, and we had coffee for about 2 hours. We talked about the good old days of high school. And I think I just left a lasting impression and positiveness and vibes and all that sort of stuff. And she said, I'll call you, in a week or two. And I just sort of didn't hear for a week because she was off with the flu. And I remember actually, it was a supercharge. I was sitting there, and it was Tracy. Sitting there, and lovely Kyles was down from Kalgoorlie. I was sitting there, and we're sitting up the back, and we got told off for talking. I remember that, we got told off for talking. Well, I just met Kylie, she's great, and stuff. And Kylie, I've got to take this phone call, So I went out, took the phone call, and I come back, and I've just been given the job. And I don't forget those little moments, and they're important moments to me.
I'll remember that. I remember that moment. Did you came in and said, I've got the job?
I'm OCD with memory stuff, as you know. I really hone in on things. I mean, for me, I'm still in capturing the 3-day submersion, and like you suggested, and I will do it again when I can actually break out of this sort of, this crazy lifestyle with real estate at the moment. And I will do it again because I think a refresher, just like we got to do our CBD courses and stuff. I think it's very important that we get reminded about what works and what doesn't work, and your system is certainly up there with the best, from what everyone says. And I say to anyone about you, not just because we're friends, I said, look at the facts. Facts tell the story. Ryan has got, X, Y, and Z on his members list, and they've gone from there to, through the roof. And that's not by fun. That's from hard work and guidance and coaching and all the rest of it, so.
Systems and structure.
Yes, exactly. Systems and structures, as you say, with me, I was fortunate enough to get going back to Encore Property. So we've got a high rent roll here, and Paula built her business up and her colleagues really well. They set the standard very high. The bar is very high when it comes to property management, which I've learned a lot about too. Don't get me wrong on the side. I'm not just a sales rep in an office. I'm a member of this company, a member of this family orientated thing, and I'll go on to say, so I've got to this day 37 sales for the year.
37. First year 1, 37 sales.
And there's and that was before this morning, and there's another 2 or 3 coming, pending from the weekend and so forth. 22 of those have come through the rent roll.
Wow. Okay.
So and I'm blessed to being given an opportunity, and Paula knows that. And from the very beginning, I sort of said, what can I do? What can I do to learn, to help, follow, watch, mentor, and just pick things up. And just the one thing she said to me, Brendon, just be yourself, because you will sell yourself. So from those, early days, I got a lot of referral, a lot of listing or sales appraisals from home opens, going to home opens, just talking to people. The old 20-minute, half an hour. People go, mine sometimes for half an hour, and I was there for another half an hour after, just talking. And you say people know, like, and trust you once you get to that point.
Yes.
And a lot of what you've built on your program, it works. 100% it does. I'm living proof. There's a lot of other members that are. I also have, in my opinion, I have a 1% rule. I created the Brendon August 1% rule. So there's 8 sales I've got from 1% rule, and that's just going above and beyond. That might be right down to an extra coffee, helping them through with timber pest inspections and building inspections. And I mean, I've got the time to do that because I'm a rookie. These other agents have got teams and so forth. They're in a different phase of their life. I've also built through us, because we've got a large rent roll, built several relationships with buyers agents on the eastern states. We've got 1 or 2 that does look at a lot of ours, that wants to buy ours. But it's not just them. I've had buyers agents who rang me and I've gone and done, and you're probably going to smack me, but I've gone and done some viewings for them personally, because I know when the market does turn at some point, when all these investors want to sell their properties, who do I want them to call?
Oh, no, absolutely.
And so I've building my database a bit different to you, but using that as well. But I've also got, I've got over 530 people or something around that magnitude that I contact.
That's brilliant. Contact.
Yeah, I know you want to get to 1,000 and I'm pushing towards that, but my biggest thing is still trying to juggle everything. It's just, I know it's just, there's so much. And last month with being so full on the 10 sales, I've had so many bank valuations, inspections, and it's just, but at the same time, always prospecting.
Yes.
So I've been told I'm working too much, to be honest, and sometimes at night time, like people are ridiculously going 7, 8 o'clock. I mean, people, are you still working? I'm messaging, I'm calling, I'm speaking to people, I'm emailing people. Especially people in the eastern states, because I get up in the morning and they've got to send me an email at 5 o'clock in the morning because they're 3 hours ahead of us. And you just constantly staying in touch with people all the time, because that's what people want. They really want to see you doing everything possible to help them. I mean, I'm in a different demographic than a lot of other people are, and here in Kwinana is people want people. Yes. If that makes sense to you.
Yes.
They don't want to just, oh, you sold me house there, you sell later, And as you're aware, the gifts that I give, I make a conversation at some point from start to the end. I'll make it personalised. One person might like a night out at a restaurant. One person might like some wine. One person might like some massages. And I'll make it personal, because that very last impression, when you follow up with them, you want it to be great. And then it's your reviews, and your reviews are coming in. And some of the reviews I've had recently are just like, they blow me away. They actually bring tears to my eyes. I mean, just to be able to be in an industry, in a position like you do with everybody, and just to be able to help people. There's honestly, there's no greater feeling in the world than being able to help someone. And like I've got this lovely elderly couple at the moment. I've sold their house at subby sale to one of our newer houses, and I've got both listings, and the newer one was a rental, was an investor. So I know it's going to go through, but like just the transition, and I've been to the house and I've helped them clean up. I've actually helped them pack boxes. I'm doing all those extra things that, look, maybe in a couple of years' time, as we build a team, you can't do all that. But right now, and we are blessed. Real estate agents, as you've said, as a lot of it, we haven't seen this market in 25, 30 years, and we may never see it again. So, as you say, make hay while the sun shines, but at the same time, for me, build a foundation that's going to work now and when things turn. I mean,
enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride.
I'm pretty grounded, and don't get me wrong. I talk about how much money you earn and this stuff. Look, it's not about money.
No,
it's about providing things, because it'll just fall into place.
Yeah.
So,
like, that's absolutely awesome. I just want to also share that obviously I took you under my wing. You were a personal project of mine because of your personal situation, because I've known you for so long, because you took the plunge, you took that step, dropped the money on the table and just did it. That's so rare. But I also put you in touch with no less than three principals to try get you a job. And I don't know whether it was me, but geez, we couldn't get you placed in those early days. And obviously everything happens for a reason, because obviously then you stumbled across Paula again. You went to school with Paula. Paula was in a position, she was looking for someone. You joined Paula. The market was going zing. But I appreciate your honesty to say that you got 22 off the rent roll. You still listed and sold 15 of your own. And that in itself, even if you didn't do that other 22, 15 in your first year is massive. I think we were talking to what's his name, Daniel Poyani. We did an interview with him last week, and he's managed, I think, 7 to 10. So, you know, that to do 15 plus 22. And I think you have, you know, we talk about gifts that come badly wrapped. I mean, the first 3 places we put you into were great offices, and you would have done so well there, but you, and for one or another reason, didn't get a position there because, you know, this was, you were destined to reconnect with me. You were destined to become an REB member, and you were destined to go to Encore Property because Paula was primed and ready for someone. Even though she's got a few other salespeople, she was looking for someone with energy and enthusiasm that she could give all these managements to. So 37 sales, and you'll probably sell at least another 5 before the end of the year. There'll
be more than that. I've targeted total of 50. You want to do 50?
50 sales in your first year, and I reckon that'll be some kind of record. And I'll be very surprised if you're not top 3 rookie of the year in Western Australia, or possibly even number 1. So we're praying for that. But mate, you know, you talk about, you know, the things that have happened in this last year with you and I and you and your business. It's just been absolutely, so 530 contacts that you've, you know, organically grown. Always be prospecting. I always see you, always on the phone. You're always on social media. You're always talking to people. You're in front of people, belly to belly. It's amazing.
Love the belly to belly. I love the belly.
You got to be, and above and beyond the things that you've done for your clients, helping them pack boxes, helping them with the gardens, helping them with things like that. It's just unheard of in this business. But one thing I want you to finish off with, mate, is what would you say to people who, you know, have done it tough? Because I mean, what age are you, if you don't mind me sharing, Brendon?
46.
46. To start a new career at 46 takes kahunas. Now, how many people out there would be sitting on the fence deciding, you know, I've been, you know, lost my job, or I'm really sick and tired of what I'm doing, or I haven't achieved what I've really set out to achieve? How many people would be sitting on the fence out there, okay, and going, I deserve something better. I want to do something more. I want to make more money. I want to provide better for my kids, my grandkids, my family. What would you say to them, mate? Because I think that's more where you're a shining example than anywhere else. It's those people who probably down a little bit on their luck, or have had a bit of a deal of bad run and need a change. Talk to them. What would you say?
Yeah, well, to be fair, Ryan, I've had 3 or 4 people that I've known through my previous employment. That's the guys who are in sales with, you know, air conditioning, refrigeration parts, and there's like, how do you do it, like with your family? You know, because they've got young kids, and I said, you just plan. You plan around that, and support and stuff. But for me, I've actually had chats with about 5 or 6 people, I'll be honest, about like just changing career. Go and find, if you're not happy, go and find something that you want to wake up to every single day and are bloody passionate about doing it, because it's only going to create more positive and more, you know, for your kids, your family, like-minded people, whatever you want to do. And yeah, take the plunge, take the risk, have a go. You know, the old Aussie, have a go.
Yeah.
Like, because it is possible to change your life and find true happiness. People look at, oh, I want happiness in a partner and this and that, you know, but find yourself, like I've said to many people, and my son, he says to me, Dad, it took you 46 years to find your dream job. I said, it did. It did. And I love getting up. I love going to work. I've never loved going to work more than I do now. And it's not about me selling and listing properties. It's just about what I'm doing. I just love doing it. And I want to embrace the challenge of what lies ahead when things do. And all of us, oh, you know, you're doing so well. You know, you wait till the market turns. I said, great. I embrace it. Bring it on. Because we can't just stay the same. Let's face it, we'd all like it to be like that, but it just doesn't work. So then, you know, but anyone out there that is wanting to have a go, have a change, there's no harm in having a go. There's no harm in trying. You know, with all your seminars, they're free. Come and see what it is, you know, and just see if it's something you want to do. You don't necessarily have to become a real estate agent, but you can get into the industry. as you say, there's always work that needs to be done behind the scenes, paperwork, computer work, all that sort of stuff. And I think that's only going to get bigger and bigger as we get onto more electronic in the future. But I would just say, have a go,
and get the help. Like, if you don't know about it, get someone to help you. Find someone in the industry, or find some training provider or coach or training course that you can submerge yourself in to learn. It doesn't, that doesn't happen without complete. I mean, the way you committed yourself to even the registration course was amazing. I know Anita and I helped you through, but just your passion and your energy was just amazing. And then obviously, since you did the three-day submersion and the supercharged sessions, and what I love about you as well, mate, is you're there to give back. I mean, you've given so much back to us, not only in friendship, but you organized us the tickets to the grand final. I mean, you made it your personal mission when you knew that Anita and I wanted to go to get those tickets.
I had those tickets, and I knew when I had those tickets, I went, "You wait till Anita finds out about this."
Oh, mate, she's still got that ticket as her bookmark and sees it every day. So, mate, it's been a pleasure to work with you. It's been great to reconnect and watch you thrive in this business, and to watch you embrace this business and your new life. And I know your wife is so thankful, and your kids are so thankful, and it's just such a beautiful success story. I just want to say to you, congratulations, mate. Thank you for being such an example to our members and to your family and to everyone you meet and see. It really, really gives me an incredible amount of satisfaction in what we do, to see someone like you go about your life and your business and your training the way you have. So from Anita and I, mate, I just want to say how proud we are of you, first of all, and how thankful we are of your humbleness, your groundedness, and your willingness to give and just love what you do. So huge.
I really appreciate that, mate. But I just want to reiterate that back the same way. What Anita and you do for not just myself, but all the members. We just thank you. I mean, you can't. I've told you to your face, you saved my life. You don't realize it. You go, told me, but you do not actually realize that the darkest place, not suicidal, but in a dark place. I would never do that for my children, but I was in a very, very dark place, and you helped save my life. And I'll say that till the cows come home. And you and Anita, just such a great support. And you know what? You're even better people.
My pleasure, mate. My absolute pleasure. And I'm proud to call you a friend, and it's been my pleasure to reach out and pull you up, and mate, we'll be walking together for a long time to come. So thank you so much. It's been our pleasure, and well done, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. See ya.